Metamodernism first emerged in the 1990s and began to be applied to film in the early 2000s. A representative figure is Wes Anderson, who demonstrated how imitation, homage, and meta-narrative strategies can be used within metamodernist methods. He uses these to emphasize narrative rather than deconstruct the story, focusing on refining the story's intrinsic value and conveying genuine emotions, as seen in his film The Grand Budapest Hotel. We can also see that with changes in audience aesthetics and culture, some initially very postmodern directors, like Tarantino, have become more metamodern. If Pulp Fiction subverted audience expectations by deconstructing Hollywood-style endings, then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood serves as one of the best examples of metamodernism. Metamodernism, on the other hand, subverts expectations by deconstructing real stories, ultimately presenting a different ending.
From a filmmaking perspective, we cannot easily ignore the influence of postmodernism on today's standard entertainment-oriented narrative methods. Many postmodern narrative elements are interesting in themselves, but this kind of postmodern art often lacks personal meaning.
The shadow of metamodernism is ubiquitous in film and television today, not only in movies with a clear sense of self-awareness, but also in some typical deconstructive dramas such as Succession, Atlanta, and Barry. These works skillfully balance comedy and a satirical detachment, while also incorporating genuine emotions. Why is culture and art now moving towards metamodernism as a response to postmodernism, rather than simply returning to modernism or tradition? Indeed, there are films like Top Gun Maverick that attempt to return to tradition, but these works are a minority.
When it comes to films about metamodernism, you can't simply go back to the past and abandon everything about postmodernism, otherwise it will seem boring. Therefore, metamodernism adopts the appeal of postmodernism while retaining a sense of inner life, such as personal inner life.
Exceptions. Another reason for the growth of metamodernism is that it is not merely a response to postmodernism. For example, modernism came first, followed by postmodernism, but modernity did not cease to exist. It continues to exist in a hypermodern trend. The metaphor of multiple realities in the instant universe is a metaphor for how we often feel we exist within multiple realities in real life. Therefore, the rapid scene changes, narrative shifts, and perspective changes, along with the recognition of viewpoints from people around the world, and even those opposing your own, all come with them. These are all things we must deal with now, and may even jeopardize our self-awareness. There are many different cultures now, but they don't negate each other. On a cultural level, no one side is a winner. But everything that is transmitted exists. Tradition shapes us and everything else. Due to the internet and social media, we are constantly submerged in narratives of traditionalism and postmodernism. For example, many user comments on TikTok are unprecedented. Metamodernism is understanding these new perspectives, extracting positive elements from these ancient philosophies, hypothesizing a multiverse theory of the world, while grounding itself in the reality that truly matters to us. The universe doesn't deconstruct any genre. It's a new genre, a culmination of metamodernist cinema. It expresses that genre is merely a tool in the narrator's hand. The Western segment of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood clearly illustrates this, with Quentin Tarantino using a Western-style imitation to depict the process of making a Western. While deconstructing tradition, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood also draws our attention to those traditions, simultaneously reinforcing their intrinsic value. Regardless of how metamodernism is defined, we are constantly evolving and redefining it. In an interview with the director of Instant Universe, the interviewer attempted to describe the film as postmodernist, discussing its homage to other films. The director corrected the interviewer, stating that the film wasn't so postmodern. He would call it metamodernist, and explained its implications. The reason, he stated, is to let the audience know that this is the real world, the world we live in, being overwhelmed by narratives from all sides. We perceive through these narratives, and thus we experience the entire universe in an instant. Metamodernism doesn't distinguish between good and bad. It's not a style or a technique, but rather a reflection of changes in cultural attitudes, feelings, and popular philosophical thought. Changes that naturally appear in our lives with the environment. Metamodernism rekindles the appreciation for pure narrative itself.
I believe metamodernism creates a story within a story. You can appreciate it as an individual work of art, like a film, or you can appreciate it more broadly as a whole. Metamodernism is real. It's not something we fabricated out of thin air. That's why works of art like films can utilize it.
Modernism aims to break the fourth wall, allowing the audience to step out of the screen. Then metamodernism aims to open up the narrative, inviting the audience to come in.
In memory fragments, time is shattered. The truth becomes unreliable. Non-linear narratives make the audience lose their sense of direction, questioning memory and reality. But at the same time, the protagonist is desperately seeking who am I. This is postmodern deconstruction. And it is also modern existential anxiety.
It's just an anonymous room.
Speak up for the disadvantaged. Donate quietly on crowdfunding platforms. And write long, thoughtful comments on social media. Talk about the most serious topics in ATA Sing Tong. And carry the heavy scene thoughts with emojis. This is precisely the manifestation of postmodernism. Within us, swinging back and forth between hope and despair.
What the hell you want to go
Switching
there?
between sincerity and irony.
It's just this fucked up building. Why do you wanna go
Hesitating
there?
between believing that change is possible and perhaps it has no meaning at all. But we still choose to believe in the future. Even if it is hazy and unclear, we still choose to act. Even if the effect is minimal, we still choose to love. To protest, to create. To record, it's not because we are naive, but because we are well aware of imperfection, yet still choose to persist. This is meta-modernism. Keep a clear mind, but never give up a passionate heart.
Let's take a look inside.
And Interstellar, we observe another kind of contradiction.
Our place in the stars.
It draws on classic science fiction,
Now just look down.
incorporating collage and homage. This is poised
We'll find a way.
modernism,
That's who we
but it
are.
also tells about love, belief, and the future of humanity. This is our turn. To modernism, love is even regarded as a force that can transcend time and space.
I figured out the message. It says, stay, Dad. You don't believe me. Look at the books. Look at this. It says, stay.
I'm coming back.
When?
Make him stay, Merv. Don't let me leave, Merv. Don't let me leave, Merv.
Driven by the unshakable faith that the earth is ours.
Not just ours, no. It is our home.
Do not go gentle into that good night.
It's me, Merv. How should we look?
In internet culture, we use absurd memes to mask our true emotions. Behind a joke caption, I'm a fine, might be sleepless nights of anxiety, and an I give up meme could hide the exhaustion, its extreme chaos and mockery. Short videos that deconstruct all meaning, illogical memes, and self-mocking crazy literature. We laugh at hard work, satirize success, and keep saying life is not worth it, but deep inside, there lies an unplaceable loneliness, confusion about the future, and a profound anxiety about self-worth. We embrace strangers in the comment sections, seek resonance in virtual communities, and express our true ideals through the images of the second dimension. This generation of young people is more aware than any other of the absurdity of the world, the injustice of its structure, and the futility of hope. We have seen through political rhetoric, exposed the traps of consumption, and witnessed climate change and environmental collapse, however. Yet we still choose to retouch photos and post them, shoot videos to express ourselves,